Sound check, sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check, sound check. And here we go. Oops. And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. Right, so let's hope you can hear me clearly, and I'm not still using the microphone, getting used to using this microphone now. You can never hear yourself quite clearly. Let's try and get these settings up. Okay, so, right. So we're going to be talking England versus Sweden post-match review. Of course, England won yesterday, so congratulations, England, by winning 2-0. I think it's personally, I think it's the best England performance or playing football at international level on a major tournament since England played in the, I think, was it Euro 98? I don't know which Euros, or 2000, whatever Euros it was that Venables was manager, and you had McManaman running down the wings, Sheringham. That was the day when they beat Holland, and they were playing so well. That when England were playing that type of football, they looked very good. They looked like they could have gone on and won the tournament, but again, the dreaded penalties came along and ruined it. And as we know, England did not win in the Euros. Thank you very much, DJ. Yeah, I would do commentary for the matches, but you know what it is? I think I'm pretty superstitious because the thing is, I have said I'm not watching Arsenal play football, and it's hard to say that as an Arsenal supporter. I said I wouldn't watch Arsenal play football because every time I watch Arsenal play football, they play shocking, dire football. But mind you, the season that went didn't make a difference anyway because they're playing shocking, dire football every week anyway. I hope you all can hear me quite clearly as well. Still going through a testing process and camera and everything. We're still working at things, so we make sure that we can give you the very best once we go and set this live station up. So we're still going through teething process. But yeah, like I'm saying earlier, yeah, it's the best England side that I've seen play since the Venables days. Now, I've been pretty critical of England in the way they've played, but I've got to say, in a quarterfinals, with the pressure on, once Maguire scored that goal, they played with the ease and a confidence. The ball was flowing. England kept a hold of the ball a lot more. Raheem Sterling, the debate rages on about Raheem Sterling because, for me personally, I don't see what he's doing. I mean, yes, he's running straight into defenders, and he's opening defenses up, maybe, possibly. But when his final shot on goal is criminal, absolutely criminal for a Premiership, for a top quality player. It's absolutely criminal how he cannot put the ball in the back of the net and somehow keeps to shoot the ball right in front of the keeper. It's shocking. Not once, but twice in the space of 5 minutes. Now, to me, that's the difference between shutting the game down, closing the game off, and allowing the opposition to get back into the game. It's almost like in boxing, in boxing terms, when a boxer knocks a guy down but can't finish him off, and then the guy turns around and comes back and tries to stop him, comes back and stops him. That sort of scenario I'm talking about. And in football terms, we were fortunate because Sweden didn't really have the firepower up front to cause us too many concerns. So in terms of Raheem Sterling, the argument was, well, he runs at defenders and he makes space for other players to get in and score goals. Okay, well, when he gets the opportunity to score goals himself, he doesn't score. Okay, Rashford missed an almost open goal opportunity when he was clean through, But that was one game that happened, and it can happen to the best strikers in the world. But I think Rashford should be playing in Sterling's position. He certainly wasn't running straight into defenders all the time. But Southgate seems to have this belief about Sterling. So who am I to criticise? Again, I talked about the key players for England and their performances, and people who I've been really impressed with. Harry Maguire pops up, scores a goal for England. He has been a real gem for England at this World Cup. And again, credit to Southgate to pick him and put him in defence and not play Gary Cahill. That would have been what most people said. Pick Cahill, he's experienced. Yeah, Harry Maguire, when he comes back to England, he's at Leicester City at the moment. By the time he gets back to England, the amount of money Harry Maguire is going to be worth is going to be ridiculous. And at Leicester City's going to have to fight to keep him maybe. But he's a top quality defender. Big, strong, is a aerial threat. He's got decent pace. Seems to read the game really well. But I like what he does as a ball player. I like the way when he comes from defence and, creates opportunities, passing the ball into midfield. I like what he does there, Maguire. With every defender or every player in the world, they will make mistakes. I just hope that this is Maguire's World Cup and he doesn't push forward and one day in this World Cup gets caught on a counter. Other than that, I love what I'm seeing from Maguire. Ashley Young, remember I spoke about Ashley Young? I said Ashley Young is a hard-working player. I like Ashley Young. I like what he's doing for England. He's hard-working. He's not fantastic, but he's hard-working, and you need hard-working players on the side. Dele Alli finally came to the party. A header, put it in the back of the net. Finally, Dele Alli, because people are asking, what the hell is Dele Alli doing at his World Cup? What has he actually done? Well, you can actually say he scored a goal, so that's quite good as well. So good for Dele Alli. Jordan Henderson, fair enough. It seems to be the thing that when Jordan Henderson will get pulled off, and Eric Dyer will come on. And Eric Dyer actually is my tip to be a future England captain. Don't know why. He just seems that he's going to be one of those. He's being groomed to be England captain in the future. Let's see now what people are saying in the room. I'm doing good, DJ Stick. I'm doing good. Great setup you have, bro. I talked about the commentary. Yo, what's up? MC Boxing Stars. Yes, we will talk boxing after this. Plenty to talk about. Hey, Bob Sanders. I'm good. I'm well. Every time I watch Arsenal play bad, yeah, that's why I stopped watching Arsenal play football. Maybe the season will be different. Modric and Rakitic against Henderson in this midfield. LOL, Croatia are going to eat them alive. Oh, I like the way England's defence is pretty good, the way they close players down. So I think it's going to be a real test now. I will talk about that in a minute. Sterling is good if used in the winger role. I totally agree with you there, which I would do as an impact sub. He isn't a second striker. He can't finish. I would start with Rashford. I agree. Looks like the girl. We'll talk about boxing later, but I did mention that. Let's see. So let's talk about Perfectly Clear, man. Thank you so much. Let's talk about a few things. Some good things for England. Going into the semi-finals, they can't say they're exhausted. They can't say that they had a taxing game. They had quite a leisurely game against Sweden. So they go into semi-finals actually playing on the back of playing their best football so far. So they've been a better team. I think if Southgate was to say to you, I came into the tournament and at the quarterfinals, my team started playing like this, I'd be happy, then fine. It seems that England have finally found playing well at the back, playing well in midfield, and if they sort Sterling out, they're playing well up top. Again, Harry Kane, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. Harry Kane is a very ordinary striker. He does nothing extraordinary. For most of that Sweden game, I didn't see him do jack diddly squat. My man's playing in midfield. He's playing like an extra midfielder. He's played so deep. I'm not surprised that Harry Kane hasn't gone into defensive midfield position. He is not what I call. He for me is not an out and out striker. Alan Shearer is what I would call an out and out striker. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I feel England need. Harry Kane had one big shot in the game from the outside the box. So for me, I want to see a striker who can score from outside the box, inside the box, beat players and score goals. That's what I want to see in my strikers, right? Or if you're going to be inside the box, you're going to be a real threat. So far, Harry Kane's goals have come by defenders who'd rather be UFC fighters rather than actually world class defenders. And Harry Kane's goals have come from that and poor defending. I haven't seen Harry Kane do anything spectacular as a striker yet. Maybe it's still to happen. Jesse Lingard, on the other hand, isn't a striker and he scored from outside the box. So that I want to see strikers from scoring outside the box. I want to see a guy beating players, you know, as a striker. I want to see him, you know, taking the ball forward, not from bloody midfield. If you're taking it from midfield, then be like George Weah and beat the midfield players, beat the defenders and go and score a goal. But I don't want him to be taking off the midfield and passing the ball. Let the damn midfielder do his work. Let Dele Alli do his work. Let Jordan Henderson do his work. Let Sterling do his work. You stay up top and we feed the ball to you. Because Kane, in all honesty, is a target man. He's a target man. That's what he is. But you know, I'm not a massive Harry Kane fan. I think he's a good captain. I think he's a good leader. I think again, Southgate has picked out a real gem again in terms of captaincy. But he's not. I wouldn't say Kane's one of the world's best strikers. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest with you. I think he's an ordinary striker, but I don't think he's anything spectacular. It's not like a Cavani, and we're talking a striker there, you know, and that's a shame because all the hype that Kane gets, I think, as I said, he's a good striker. Pickford, I remember coming into this tournament, said he was a bit suspect. Let me tell you something. Since that penalty save, Pickford has gone on and made some absolutely incredible saves. Pickford, another one, has been a gem of a goalkeeper for England, helped him in the penalties shootout, and again made some fantastic saves. Pickford is definitely grown in stature over this World Cup for me, so he's definitely one to look out for. Trippier, once again, I just wish he was better taking free kicks, but Trippier again has impressed me hugely for England, so that's another player. John Stones, thank goodness we haven't had to rely on him too much so far, so good for him. Yes. Ordinary when he gets 25 goals a season. Mate, we're not playing Premiership football here. This is the World Cup. It's not Premiership football. This is the World Cup. This is the difference. You look, Darren Bent scored 25 goals in one season, 30 goals in one season or 2 seasons. Does that mean he's the world's elite striker? Bearing in mind, it's not an all English side. Remember that. Always remember when you're talking about these guys scoring 20, 30 goals a season, always remember how many assists are these guys getting. And I remember last season, balls were coming off Harry Kane's arm. He was claiming them as well. So I'm not saying Harry Kane is a bad striker. I just don't think he's all what people are putting him out to be, right? Because he scores all these goals during the Premiership, that's fine. But that doesn't mean he's an out-and-out great striker. It just means that he gets good service. That's all that means to me. That's all. He's not a, he's not a, to me, I don't know. He's, I don't know. And I'm not saying it because my cousin's Jermaine Defoe. I'm not saying it because people will throw that up as well. It's not that. I just don't, for me, I loved Alan Shearer as a striker. Ian Wright, I loved him as a striker. Do you know what I mean? Lineker, I liked him as a striker. Even though Lineker was a bit of a goal hanger, I love Lineker though. You knew Lineker will score from outside the box, inside the box. Lineker was deadly. You know what I mean? Yeah, link up play. Harry Kane's phenomenal. Yes, but he's coming from midfield. Do you understand? That's my problem with Kane playing from midfield. His link up play is great, but his link up play is because somebody else is not doing what they should be doing. Either that be a Dele Alli or Sterling. See a link up play. See, that's where I said before, people will knock me for this, but a Wayne Rooney in like a Teddy Sheringham role. That's why Teddy Sheringham was so effective for England with the Venables setup, because he was able to link players up. He was able to link the midfield to the attack with little dinks and passes. Scholes is another one like that. You know, those are really, really good players, good creative players. Um, why is Kane doing that? That's because the guy in midfield's not doing what he should be doing, which is Raheem Sterling, who's playing just off the striker. So Kane is doing more work in midfield while lacking focus. Listen, your only role, put the ball in the back in it. I don't want you to play no damn link up play. Put the down ball in the back in it. Let Dele Alli and Lingard and Sterling and Young and whoever and Henderson and Dyer, let all those guys and Maguire from defence, let them do all the linking up play. Yeah, let them do that. You just be out, just within 30 yards out. When that ball comes to you, just put it in the back of net for me. 30 yards out, 20 yards out, 10 yards out, 5 yards out. From 30 yards out, I want to see you being able to score goals. That's all I want from you. Score goals. That is it. Simple instruction. And you're doing a great job as a leader. So that's what I'd want from Harry Kane. So again, personal opinion. It's not what everyone wants to hear, but you know, Pickford has been very good. I have to give him credit as he has proved a lot of people wrong. Trippier has done well too. Yep. Again, you've got to give Southgate his credit. He's back to youth, and you cannot knock that. A lot of and you think people would say, I would ask this question: would the golden era of Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, would that era, if you had that England team now, would they have got to the semi-finals of the World Cup? Let me ask you that question. Or when they got to penalties, would that have been the end of England? That's a good question to ask. How do we stop Modric and Rakitic? Loftus-Cheek or Dyer? Dyer. I played Dyer and Henderson. Ordinary gets to go. I mentioned about that. Kane is good for what he is. Don't expect him to run past players and score outside the box. That's not him as a player. He's world class at finishing in the box and being a target man. Yeah. Okay? How much of Harry Kane did we see in that Sweden game? I didn't see much of him. I mean, I saw him took one big shot. I didn't see much of him in that game. I'm not expecting him to perform every game, but he almost went missing in that game because other guys did the job. Maybe you can have a game off, but again, he's a good player, but as I said, he's not what everyone's advertising him out to be. His linker goes really is also really good at bringing players into play. Yep, he did make that. That's a very good point there. AA, good to see you in the room. Harry Kane isn't Henry. We've got to get off the mindset of wanting him to score outside the box and run past players and score. That's not his game. He's world class at being in the box and finishing it. Well, okay. In that case, then I will stand by my point of what I said earlier. Keep the Kane inside the box, stay inside the box, and let the midfielders do their work and just let him there finish one job. Just focus on one thing: putting the ball back in there. Forget all this link up play business. Just be there and let the other guys do the work to get the ball in it. Much like Lineker. When is FM18 returning? I don't know, mate. It's coming home. Yeah, it might well be coming home. Mike needs a pop shield. It's a little muffled, Ingram. Yeah, well, okay. Thank you for that. We're getting there. I think you've joined us late. Someone who has been poor, in my opinion, is Kyle Walker, and I'm a City fan. Well, we've talked about him being very suspect already. Sterling needs a bit of luck finishing. Needs a bit of luck. He needs more than luck. Luck was the first couple of games. He's just inexcusable. He can't finish. That's it. Mind you, I'll say that now. Pro score goal against Croatia. Belgium is gonna be world champion. Well, if England don't win it, I think France will win it. But hey, modern day poacher. Your ideas of Rooney playing with Kane would have been interesting instead of Sterling. Yeah, because I'm only using the Rooney idea, like a Teddy Sheringham idea. Bit more experience, bit older, can just sit back. You know he can score the goal. You can score goals from 30 yards out. You know he can score the goal just inside the box. You can get him late into the box. We know he can just dink little passes here and there. He's got vision, Rooney. So I'm not expecting him to run it back players. But if he does, fair enough. But the thing I also would have about Rooney, he can take the free kicks. He can take the free kicks. So I don't know why Rashford doesn't start. He's an amazing player. I agree there, Benjamin Franklin. I agree there. MC Boxing Star says Sterling needs to be more composed. In all honesty, we know he can finish over 20 goals for City, so he can score, but he needs to be more composed and panic less. Yeah, that might be a mental thing. I think he might need to have a few words with the sports psychologist. And here's the thing: when we talk about Raheem Sterling and the Rashford situation, now is there something going on behind closed doors that we don't know about? We know that Mourinho wanted to sell Rashford. There was a lot of talk last season about Mourinho wanting to sell Rashford. If there's a Man United supporter in the room, please come out and say your piece because I don't know what's going on there. But to me, it seems that there is something going on because why Rashford? Rashford was one of the guys that at the World Cup was meant to shine. This was Rashford's opportunity to shine. But you've got to give the guy opportunities to come out and play football. But the guy's coming out and playing 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's not really giving you much time to shine, is it? And then you're putting a guy who's playing in his role, and he's. I mean, look at it. Put it this way: if I'm sitting at home watching Raheem Sterling, many highlights of how not to finish, how not to beat players. If had a highlight, I had got a whole set of highlights to that, and I can tell you why I don't want Raheem Sterling inside. If I can do that, God only knows what guys like Loftus Cheek and Rashford and Delph. What are those three? Delph, not so much Delph, but Loftus Cheek and Rashford. What the hell are these guys doing? What are they thinking when they're sitting down watching this guy Sterling hitting the ball straight at the keeper? I mean, what goes through these guys' mind? I mean, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. That's the first thing. Second thing is, did you notice? And I was watching for body language. I check things like this. Did you notice when they were coming out for the tunnel for the second half, and you saw the England substitutes? You saw Loftus Cheek, there was Rashford, and there was, I think, Delph and somebody else. Oh yeah, Trent Arnold. And you just go past, you watch you see a Loftus Cheek's face, and then you look at Rashford, and he kind of brushes past Sterling and doesn't pay much attention. And I look at that and think to myself, what's going on there? And I ask myself the question, maybe I'm looking too deep into things, but is there some sort of political thing going on with Rashford? I don't know, but surely somebody somewhere would be able to answer that question about Rashford. I've got to put my zoom up on this because, yeah, let me turn my zoom up on this so I can see what people are saying. There we go. DJ6 says the reason why Southgate is backing Sterling because of the backlash he's getting in the media prior to World Cup for the gun tattoo, etc. Southgate decided to back his man for confidence. He's not actually repaying him now, is he? Also, he was turning up late to training. Okay. England can't rely scoring goals on the air all the time. Needs to be some skills if it's coming home. Great point there, Tom Smith. Set pieces great, but he's got to score goals out. They've got to score goals outside of set pieces. I totally agree with you there. I totally agree with you. Yes, Cairo, my man, how you doing? Um, his way of putting his arm around him was to bring him back on side and tell him that he was going to be the man to start with Kane. I think that's what's happened because the media was really out for him. Okay. One thing I like about Southgate as well, he showed to me tremendous man management skills. Again, there was something weird that happened. I looked at this. I think Rashford was down in a heap. I don't know if he was upset or he was crying or something. But Southgate went right past him, looked down at him, and walked past him. And everyone else, he was hugging and embracing and almost wanted to kiss people. And as a coach myself, when you go up to play and you hug a player and you know, I believe in you, I have confidence in you, thank you so much, thank you, thank you, thank you. That fills a player with some, and it's genuine. Southgate seems genuine. I don't think he's doing it because I'm a coach for England. That's it. He's doing it because he actually has an affinity with the players. He actually has that hearty, you know, and I think that's another thing psychologically for the players. So they actually not, they want to play for him. They want to play for him. I don't think they wanted to play for Sven Goretzka. I don't think they wanted to play for, they definitely want to play for the guy, the what's his name? The guy, the former Real Madrid manager. They never want to play for him. You know what I mean? And the same sort of passion and feeling. I see the same thing for Venables. I think they respect Venables. They respected Venables. I think they respected. They respect Southgate. I'm not sure what the hell they thought about Hoddle. Although Hoddle did win the Tour Noir. Keegan, I think they wanted to play for Keegan, but I don't think Keegan was tactically up to very much. I think he was a very passionate guy. He wasn't up to much tactically. And what's the other guy? The Pratt with a brolly. What's his name? Steve McLaren. Well, I don't know. If Mourinho sells Rashford, it's gonna be another mistake. He sell De Bruyne to City, and before he did same mistake with Salah. Well, he also sold Mata for Chelsea. Oh dear. Cairo. I do know a Cairo, yeah. I don't know if you're the same Cairo, but this Cairo was a guy that is part of the Steel Band. So I don't know if it's the same Cairo. If it's the same Cairo, shout big up to Cairo. If it's not Cairo, but big up to you anyway. Big up your chest anyway. Cairo, Dele Alli actually managed to turn up. He did. Now is he actually fit now? Was he in the right place at the right time? I'm just glad he scored because somebody said, I remember some reading over Twitter, somebody said Dele Alli scored a goal, and before that he was probably worth £2, but now he's probably gone up to 20 million. So I'd like to know what Sterling's price tag would be now, and I'd like to know the price tag of Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar. That's 3 players already. I'd like to know their price tags because remember, they're out of the World Cup, and the world ratings for all these teams: Brazil, Argentina, Spain, Italy. Where can there be world ratings? So, because England had the easier route, let's be honest, because they get the easy route, and let's say they do get past Croatia and they beat Croatia and they get to the finals and they pull off the unthinkable, become world champions, will people then turn around and say, yeah, well, they avoided the best teams? Or will people say, it don't matter, we won the World Cup? What will people say? Adam Scott says, don't want to piss on England getting to the semi-finals, but this draw from heaven, once in a lifetime. I agree. We've got to beat Croatia. McLaren needed a draw for 2008 and failed miserably. Kyra says, somebody told me allegedly that Southgate has a child with a disability, so he doesn't tolerate egos in the dressing room and is hard on the players. Wow, that's an interesting one. McTrish says, perhaps the respect Southgate gets is also a side effect of the overall age of the squad. The younger guys don't have the kind of ego the established stars of the past did. Dang, serious. Jamaican blood, London born. Bless Ingram. Bless you too. You have to remember Southgate has had most of the team from the under 21s and youth team. They've grown up grown up together. The players are friends. The Beckham Gerrard era had too much squad divide. Interesting there. Certain players couldn't talk to others because of the clubs clashing, like Liverpool, Man United, etc. That's the best player I've seen from England for years. I agree with you there. Since the Venable days, I think. If England win the World Cup, could we see Sir Dele Alli? It'd be something, wouldn't it? The only thing people remember are the winners. Nothing else matters. Ronaldo is moving to Juventus as well. Wants to win more trophies in another league to end the Messi debate forever. England, Spain, then Italy. Yeah, England will have a job beating Croatia. Can't see them winning the final at all. Wow, wow. Well, listen. I think things like recovery time for England. The fact that they didn't have that much of a test. Well, they didn't have much of a test against Sweden. Players are all fit and ready to go. Best performance so far from the England team. To the semi-finals, full of confidence. Croatia and Russia had to go to a penalty shootout. That's going to be more exhausting. It's going to take more out of Croatia. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's great for England. You have to give the edge to England because of the fact that they're going into the semi-finals having won a comfortable game. And this England team really haven't been tested, really put to the back against the walls. I guess the Colombia game was that. But I think that Colombia game, England didn't play as well as they played against Sweden. So I think they have a system and they're quite happy with that system and they're getting used to playing the system. So I expect them to play even better against Croatia. I doubted Southgate, but maybe I was wrong. He was also a player too. Yeah, that's true. There is no Messi Ronaldo debate. Messi is the best. Simple. No, I'm sorry. If I'm going to get into this Messi Ronaldo debate, I'm going for Ronaldo. He's played in how many leagues? He's played in the English league. He's played in the Spanish league. Now he's going to play in the Italian league. Messi's only played in the Spanish league, right? Or the Argentinian league, right? So I guess you have to see Ronaldo's played in the Portuguese league as well, right? So, and he's actually won things. He's not just played with one team. He's gone to other teams and won and impacted and won. So I like to see what Messi could do in the Premiership and what could he do in Italy. So there's my argument. Let's see what people are saying again. Croatia haven't found a consistent source of goals. They ended up relying on penalties recently. Okay. Think the problem will be against the Croatian midfield. It's much better than ours. Okay. What's your opinion on the squad divide from back then compared to now? Certain players would have little groups back in the day and wouldn't integrate the squad properly. Well, some of the things you've got to think about there also didn't help was the foreign managers. So the foreign managers didn't help. 1, 2, you see, I'll take this to another level, or I'll bring the comparisons between another sport. Kevin Peterson, when he played for England, one of, if not England's best batsman over the last decade, and one of England's greatest batsmen of all times. He had a ego problem. He had a real, they say, chip on his shoulder, a bit of an ego. But you see, the thing is, when you're a manager, for me, management is having people skills and management skills. A lot of these guys that you find as managers haven't got great people skills. In fact, they haven't got great management skills. And when it comes down to dealing with big players, and you yourself, McLaren, all these other guys are not big players, it plays on their ego. So when they have to interface with top quality players, i.e., for example, when Peter Moles was England cricket manager or cricket coach, he was head coach, and he had to interface with Kevin Peterson. Peterson, don't tell me how to bat. Don't tell me how to play cricket. I'm a better player than you. I was always you can't put my averages together. How many times have you represented England? How many times I represent England? What's my average and what's your average? So don't tell me how to play. So you've got a problem there. If you've got a stack of players like that, you've got a problem. So for Southgate, well, again, DJ Slick, you made a great point there. Southgate has worked with these guys since the youth system, and I think he had a very successful youth side as well. So this England set up with Beckham and Gerrard and Lampard, and you know they were very much media darlings, weren't they? The Gerrards, the Lampards, the Beckhams. You know they couldn't do no wrong until they went to the World Cup. Overinflated egos and salaries for me. Ronaldo proved himself in Man United, Real, and Portugal. I've said all because of club mentality. There you go. Ronaldo basically overcame him. I agree. Pele only played in the Brazilian league. What's your point? Messi can't be transferred. He has no price. He's irreplaceable. When did Pele play football? When did Pele play football? Pele. That's funny. Yo, Ingram, is the World Cup fixed, Ingram? Well, if the World Cup was fixed, here's this. If the World Cup was fixed, I thought Russia would have won it. But clearly they didn't. They're out of the World Cup. So Putin didn't have that much influence, did he? I don't know if it's fixed. They say all games are fixed. They say all matches are fixed. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm sure people in England would want it to be fixed for them to win the World Cup. Fixed for England. The seeding is fixed. Well, possibly. I can't. I've got no evidence one way or the other. Brexit. LOL. Hey, hold on. Soft Brexit, but that's another conversation. And some of the decisions are weird. Yes, they are. Champions League 2. Yes. Right. So if there's nothing else to talk about regarding England, Sweden, congratulations once again, England. I do give Jack his credit where Jack's going to West Ham, Wiltshire. I do give Jack his credit where it's due, and England have done well. I expect them to do better. We've got to do the preview to England versus Croatia, so I'll do that. Also, Arsenal they've got another player coming into the club soon. It's 4 players now. Dynamic midfielder they've got. Do you think the World Cup was fixed for Russia to get the easier draw, and it just happened to work out well for England? That's a good question. It will only work out well for England if they beat Croatia and they beat the eventual finalist. That's the only time it can work out well. It cannot work out well if you get beat in the semi-final. Especially when people are saying it's the best opportunity ever to win a World Cup. And I want to say one more thing before I finish. I've really got to say this. I think Southgate has drilled his side so well. Gabby Logan asked the question, is it coming home? And Maguire kind of stopped to say, he was very hesitant. And even Dele Alli, very hesitant. The England side are take every game, one step every game. We play this game, let's see how we do after this game. We play the next game, let's see how we do. Let's get this game out of the way, then we play the next game. And that's how you should take it, one game at a time. Of course, the golden era, if you ask someone like Beckham that question, you ask Becks that question, you're going, the Gavas got us playing good football, and we've got a good chance as anyone to win that World Cup. That's the sort of thing that Beckham would say, and would they get him with the whole "it's coming home"? Let the fans shout "it's coming home," let the media shout "it's coming home," but you, as a footballer, stay focused on the prize. Once you start saying it's coming home to a point where you just relax and think it is going to come on, you get arrogant, and that's what England teams in the past have been so vulnerable to: complacency and arrogance. We're the best in the world. We got the best. We got the best free kick taker in the world. We got the best striker in the world. So we got the best of this and the best of that. And then when we go to World Cups, we get exposed. We haven't gone into the World Cup with that mentality. We've gone into the World Cup. We're underdogs. We're going to take each game as it comes, and we're going to try and play hard and play well. And that, and if you look at teams like Germany, the way they've gone on and won the World Cup, they may have started off real crap, but they've got through to the round and got through, and they've actually got better as the tournament's got on. And if you look at England from when they first started the tournament to where they are now, it shows us the signs that they can only play even better still against Croatia. What players do you think Unai Emery will sell? He just sold Wiltshire. Russian players were doped. All Russian athletes are doped with state funding. If he's smart, he'll sell Granit. I don't know. I think he's given Granit a 4-year extension deal. English players are doped. Did anyone see? Oh no, I'm not talking. No boxing at the moment. Yeah, and they still didn't. Yeah, don't do drugs. It didn't help, did it? They still got beaten penalties. England would be a meltdown if England. London will be a meltdown if England win it. Well, listen, I live by the sea, yeah, and after every match, because I live just on the literally on the high street. You walking out down the high street, you'll hear people shouting, "It's coming up!" You hear all of that, and you get every after every game. So it's and it's almost like meltdown out here, and we've only got to a semi-final so far. Beckham was always overrated to me. Yep, skill-wise, he was never in the top 5 of the world. I agree. Just a fashion model, Spice Boy. I have a feeling that Belgium-France winner will win it. The media love to chat rubbish. Why is Gabby Logan even asking them questions about is it coming home? And because there's some producer who was a bit of a fanboy who said to her, "Yeah, ask them a question. Is it coming home?" It's a fanboy question, and there's somebody in the studio who's a bit of a fanboy or a fangirl, so she asks the question. You know the type of people asking the questions behind the scenes. You just know it. They're not in tune with what the England team or the management is about. They're still stuck back in the day with Gerard Lampard and Scholes and that England setup. This is a totally different England setup. They've been very media friendly as well. 6-1 against Panama. People are having spunk fest singing "It's Coming Home." I agree with you there. Very, very, very lot of talk about that and how we smashed Panama and we thought we were the greatest things in sliced bread. I'm so glad that Southgate has just kept it on the reel. Now Wiltshire waiting for free. Well, he left anyway. He's gone. That's what I heard. Did you see the video of that bloke jumping through the bus shuttle yesterday? No, I didn't. But he still wants to bring Andre Gomes, and Zoni is coming. I heard Zoni is coming to Arsenal. This time in a week we will be world champions. The country is going to be in meltdown. That Monday will be like bank holiday. No one is going to work. Well, put it this way. You know, my birthday has always been a great day. July the 15th is my birthday. Just so happens to be the World Cup final as well. It might even be the day that BWTM launched their TV station. Who knows? Mahrez has got better end product. Okay. Can't believe Mahrez wasn't in the Moroccan team. Proven goal scorer. Yep. He's Algerian. That's funny. That's very, very funny. I like that. That was funny. That's very, very funny. I enjoyed that. Right. So, I think there's much more for me to talk about now. So, I will do England versus Sweden post match. When I come back, same thing. When I come back, I will be talking some boxing. There's lots to talk about. Oh my God. So much to talk about. And some of it's really ridiculous, but I'm going to talk about it. So join me in a minute. It'll be boxing talk. See you soon. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe, like the video, share the video, and tell your friends about BWTM Sports. big things are happening. So that's it from me. I'll see you later. And obviously, when you watch this on the replay, check out the videos at the end of this show.